Once upon a time, nestled on the edge of a vast forest, lay a small village. Peaceful for the most part, the villagers lived in fear of the Lobizon, a creature rumored to dwell within the forest. A creature of the dark, half man and half wolf, said to emerge from the woods in search of human flesh on every full moon. But how does such a creature come into existence? Simple: the curse of the seventh son. The curse won't fall on any daughters, but if a mother gives birth to 7 sons, the last one will surely become a Lobizon. When Felipe was born, his mother was terrified. She had hoped for a daughter, not a 7th son. But Felipe's mother was kind and loving, and she wasn't going to turn her back on her child, no matter what the villagers said about this curse. Years of peace passed. Felipe grew into a strong boy, much loved by his mother and father and 6 brothers. But Felipe couldn't help but notice that he was treated differently from his brothers. He wasn't allowed to go to school because the teacher wouldn't allow it. This was unfortunate, as the young boy loved to learn new things and desperately wanted to make friends with the other children. Whenever Felipe was sent by his mother to fetch bread, the villagers never got in his way and always looked at him with a mix of fear and resentment, which made the young boy restless. The other children wouldn't play with him, and he was never allowed to go out during a full moon. This last point was perhaps the worst of all, as Felipe loved the moon. Something about it, especially when it was full and round in the night sky, spoke to Felipe, stirred his soul, and made him want to sing, dance, and run. Life, while peaceful, was far from happy. Felipe felt increasingly isolated with each passing year. He had no friends and was never invited to play with the other children. Sometimes he heard their laughter and imagined what game they were playing and how much fun they were all having. Felipe noticed that even his mother and brothers started looking at him with strange eyes. "What's so wrong with me?" Felipe often asked himself. "I'm not a bad boy. I do my chores and I hardly ever misbehave. Why am I treated so differently from the other children?" As he neared his 15th birthday, Felipe was more despondent than ever. His mother rarely let him outside, and she often appeared distressed in his company. Younger children, if they ever saw him playing near their homes, threw stones at him, but when he turned to scold them, they would run away screaming as if he were a monster. Sometimes Felipe sought refuge in the vast forest and wished he would never return. One day his mother sat him down and explained the reason for his distress. "You are my 7th son," she said, "and my child, you are cursed." Felipe was very upset. "What kind of curse?" he asked. "On your 15th birthday, you will become a Lobizon, a creature that is half human and half wolf." Felipe knew all about Lobizons from his books and the tales his brothers shared at night when they thought he was asleep in his bed. But they never told Felipe that he was cursed in this way. He didn't want to become a Lobizon. He didn't want to become evil or cruel, and he certainly wasn't comfortable with the idea of growing long claws and thick fur all over his body. On the occasion of his 15th birthday, young Felipe was more miserable than he had ever been in his life. As the full moon rose on his 15th birthday, Felipe's transformation into the Lobizon began. The change was painful, but it was also enlightening. Felipe realized that he was now a creature of the night, a being of immense power and strength. He was no longer an outcast, shunned by his village. He was a Lobizon, feared and respected. Felipe's life took a dramatic turn after his transformation. He roamed the forest at night, reveling in his newfound strength and freedom. He was no longer alone, for the creatures of the night were his companions. And when dawn broke, he would turn back into his human form, tired but fulfilled. Felipe's story is one of acceptance. Despite the fear and isolation he experienced as a child, he learned to accept his fate as the Lobizon. He found peace in his dual existence, living as a man by day and a creature of the night by the full moon. He learned that being different didn't make him less, it made him unique.